Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for March 31st, 2019. This was a weird week. Work was busy, so I didn't read all that much. Like, I would say I didn't read very fast this week because I had more eye issues, and I know it's just, you can just barely see that it's a little swollen. It was much worse a couple of days ago. It was bright red and it was swollen up really bad. So I'm still having some eye problems. It feels like it's going away now. I don't have quite as much trouble, but I'm still finding that it's hard for me to read as long as I'd like to. So I'm hoping that kind of gets better as well. So I did read, I did finish a few things. I felt like I should have read more because I was trying to push for the last part of March Mystery Madness. This month I did not do as much as I was hoping. I'll have a lot of mysteries I want to read. I just didn't have the time after reading the Marching Mammoths. And like I said, then I've had these eye issues which have slowed down my reading. So I mean, I'm not doing bad for my reading this month. It's just I was hoping to do more. You know how you always want more? Anyway, so I'm going to go through the books that I finished and then the ones that I'm in the middle of, and that's kind of what we'll see what happens, okay? So I, of course, finished Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It was my reread this month because Steve Donoghue did a mandatory read-along, which was fantastic. His videos are great, and I will try to link one of them down below. I just thought these were really good. What he said, because I didn't agree with some of the stuff he said, but I think he made a lot of good points, and he also brought a lot of things to light that I wasn't thinking about. But it was really great to reread this because I did study this a lot in college, because I'd read it as a teenager, and then college I studied it a lot, and I actually studied a lot of Jane Austen. It was kind of my focus in college. It was great because it had been a couple years since I'd read the whole thing. I read a couple of, I probably read a couple of chapters a couple of years ago, and then I hadn't had a chance to reread it, especially since I joined BookTube. So it was really great to revisit this, and I forgot about a lot of things in here. I mean, I know the general, like, I could almost, say what happens in the movies and the BBC miniseries, but I really, really enjoyed coming back to the original text and reading it again, and getting those little bits that I forgot that had been changed in other adaptations and stuff. So really, really enjoyed this. Of course, everybody should have read it this month because it was mandatory. And if you haven't, you really should pick it up. I think even if you do not enjoy it, like there are some people who don't enjoy it. I get that, but it's also, I think, one of those classics where I think that if you read it, then you know what other people are talking about a little bit more. I mean, you get the gist from the movies, but I still think it's much better to go to the source. But that's just my opinion. And again, it's one of my favorite books, so I'm biased. I love that book. And I was so glad to reread that. That was just awesome. And I'm looking forward to Jane Austen in July, where I'm hoping to reread Persuasion, which is my second favorite Jane Austen book. So I love that book too. I just haven't reread it in a few years, so I would really like to do that. So then I can't remember what day I picked this up. I know I was reading this. I'm pretty sure I picked this up on Saturday or something. I don't remember. I think I started this last week. I don't know. You guys can tell me. I don't remember anymore. But Loyalty and Death is number 9 in the In Death series by J.D. Robb, Nora Roberts. I really enjoyed this one. There was a lot of good points to this, and what I liked about it is that I thought I figured it out, and then she tricked me. And so I didn't think I had it figured out, and then it turned out I figured it out. It was great. I mean, again, that was good for me. It doesn't, I was so like, wait a minute, she did so well. I really liked that. But what I really love about these, even the mysteries are like, I mean, they're okay mysteries. Again, this is futuristic. I think it's supposed to be 2055 or so. And, she's, Eve's, Dallas is a cop, and she's married to a multi-billionaire Rourke, and who owns half of New York. Anyway, and off-planet stuff. But they're one of my favorite couples just because of their dynamic of the things they go through, and they grow and learn about each other and stuff, which is great. I think it's a great ongoing series for that relationship. But I also love all the people all the other cops that Eve works with, and all the friends, and you know, people that work for them. And I think it's just a great ensemble all together. And I always love it when, you know, all those other people are on in the book. And I really enjoyed one of the side plots on here. And I can't wait to read number 10. I think it's Witness in Death. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to read number 10 probably in a couple of months. I'm going to give myself a couple months and then pick it up again. Another one. Because again, I'm like 40 behind. I think there's like 49 out. So I'm a little behind, but I'm going to try to pick up a few this year and, you know, just continue working through it. But I really enjoyed this. And again, that was only my second March Mystery Madness pick, which was kind of funny. I was hoping to do a whole lot of mysteries this month. And again, the Marching Madness threw me off. But I did pick up one more and finished it. And that was Dead to Begin With by Bill Kreider. This is the 24th in the Sheriff Dan Rhodes mysteries. I've been reading these since the early 90s. I love these books. They're small town or small county Texas, the sheriff and his deputies, all the small town things, because there's like a lot of little towns. There's one bigger town of the county seat, and then there's all the little towns that he goes to, and then there's the big Walmart on the freeway where all the businesses have moved from downtown to there, and then of course there's the mystery, and there's always somebody dies. And he's investigating that. But there's also those little side plots of small town life that, you know, little disagreements and things. I mean, it begins with a woman who goes off her meds and decides that her haircut, she got a bob haircut, decides she hates it and she's going to she takes a sledgehammer and goes to the beauty shop. It was a great opening, I must say. Anyway, so these are really fun. I would totally recommend these. I still think you should always start at the beginning because there's so much in here. But even if you start about halfway through, I think most libraries will have a lot of them, and they're just, I mean, they're just, if you get to know the characters, and a lot of them reappear because it's small county area. There's not a whole lot of people, so it's really, I mean, you know, you're gonna see people over and over. I just love this series. Clearly, I only have one more book of his because he has passed away last year, so I only have one more book of his, so 25 will be that'll be it. I will probably pick that up sometime this year, but I want to space it out a little bit after reading this one because I really, really enjoy this. Again, I love these books. I just love them, and I can't, you know, I will be rereading the whole series after I finish it. It's just, it's so sad that's going to be it. And then, so then I have two books that I have kind of on the go. I do not have an audiobook right now. Because I did too many audiobooks in a row, I had to take a break. I'm listening to music in my car right now. So I don't know if this week I'll pick up an audiobook. I might next week. I might be ready for it, but this week I'm still like, I'm not sure I'm ready yet. So, but when I get to that, I'll let you guys know. I did decide to pick up a chunker that has been staring at me since I bought it, and I've been wanting to read this for a really, really long time. So I'm going to take it really slow, and this is a book that you'll probably see every week because I'm not going to read a lot of it all the time. And everyone I've seen who's read this has done the same thing. You can only read so much at a time. And that is the unabridged journals of Sylvia Plath. So I read the book that came out, I don't know, in the 80s, I think, of her journals. I bought it when I was in college because that's when I found out about the journals. I read the Bell Jar in high school, but I've always found her very fascinating, and I just wanted to read those journals, so I did. But you know, it was when I found out they had been, you know, pretty much manipulated by her husband at the time, you know, and so it was edited a lot of things out. So these are supposed to be all the ones that we have access to. He did destroy at least one, I think is what it said or something. So like the last one. So that's kind of disappointing. But Sylvia Plath was a writer and a poet, and I've only read 20 pages, but it's starting when she's 18, just about to go off to college. It's the summer before she goes to Smith College for university, and so it's just, but she writes so beautifully. Like my journals, or if I had written consistently in any journal at that time, mine would not sound like that. My journals don't sound like that now. It's so interesting how powerful her imagery is at that age. I'm just blown away. And I've only read 20 pages, so I haven't read very far yet. It's gonna take, it's very slow going because it's also very painful, and it's mostly because I'm thinking about my 18-year-old self and the things that, you know, emotionally you're going through as you're growing up, and, you know, with the boys and other people and blah, you know, and it's just like, and going off to school, she's going off to school for the first time, and, you know, that kind of thing. It's just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff going through her head, and I think this is going to take me a long time. I'm not going to talk about it all the time, this much detail. I just wanted to say, I've been wanting to read this forever. I have also her letters, which I hope that next year I can read those. This year I want to concentrate on the journals, and as I said, get through this. So it's really a big book. I mean, it's like over 700 pages with all the notes, and I am reading the notes. Like, this is one I'm going to take my time with, and I think that's just how it's going to be. So I'm hoping that every night I read a couple of entries, and so the pages won't really add up that much. And I just figure it's going to take me a couple of months. So this is going to be kind of that backup, or that read that I have. Like, I read a little bit here and there. But I am interested to read this so much. I've been staring at this spine has been on my TV entertainment center since I bought it. And I got the books out there, and I've been staring at it going, oh, I need to start that. I need to start that. And last week, I just decided I was going to do it. Or that, you know. So anyway, you'll be seeing this like forever. But it's not one I'm going to take out of the house. I think it's going to be sitting by the couch by me, and I'll just pick it up here and there is what I do. And then yesterday, after I finished Dead to Begin With, I decided to pick up one more mystery. I will not finish this today, so it technically won't count for March Mystery Madness, but at least I got 3 titles for March Mystery Madness, right? But I did want to read this, and I've been staring at it since I bought it. I don't know why it's taken me so long to pick it up, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to read Dissolution by C.J. Sansom. Sorry. So I've heard so much about this. I think I first heard about it from Mel at Mel's Bookland Adventure, and then I've seen this on multiple channels. I know a lot of people read it recently, and you know, other people have been reading the series for years, and so I never heard about it until I heard it on her channel, and so I got a copy, and I'm just finally picking it up. I'm just over 25 pages into it, so I don't have a real opinion yet. It did surprise me that this was first person, so we'll see how that goes. This is a historical fiction mystery that follows, I think it's Sharlake. Matthew Shardlake, and I think he is like a lawyer who's working for Cromwell while all the monasteries are being decommissioned and stuff, and you know, all their treasures taken by the king. And so he goes to do a mystery at, I guess, one of the monasteries, because the agent who went to first talk to them died. So I'm not that far, and he hasn't left. He's on his way there. So, as I said, I'm interested to see how this goes. I was surprised it was first person. I admit it. I was kind of like, oh, I wasn't expecting that with a historical fiction. But anyway, so I'm going to read that. So those are the books that I read, and I'm in the middle of reading. As I said, I just started those last 2, so hopefully I'll make some progress on them this week. I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I still have a couple of mystery titles that I was kind of hoping to hit, so I might pick that up before I do my April TBR, or try those books that I DNF'd earlier this year or last year that I'm trying to clear off. We'll see what happens. So what are you guys reading? You guys were probably a lot more successful in March Mystery Madness than I was, but I did get 3 done total for the year, and or for the month. And you know, as I said, I read mysteries off and on all the time. I just those mammoths were pretty big. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.